Why TBC? What's the deal? Now, nowadays, when I talk to fans and I talk about a guy should, fight on the inside or get close to fight his type of fight, get physical, use his shoulder, fight on the inside, pivot, shift, catch, roll, slip, duck, counter, everything. From close range, fight in the pocket. A lot of fans think that that's stupid. That's fighting a stupid fight. That's fighting a dumb fight. To me, it's just good old infighting. I mean, that's just a part of the sport. Some guys is good at bouncing on their toes and moving around, lateral movement from left to right, in and out, flicking jabs, feinting. Some guys know how to drop their shoulders, do little subtle things with their gloves, and just the way they move in the ring, their whole cadence. Being able to glide across the ring. Some guys are great at that. Some guys are just, they're great at infighting. One of the guys that I really appreciated being an infighter was James Toney. Man, I used to think this guy was committing suicide going up to heavyweight. I know he got popped off for some, use of steroids or whatever the case. But to me, I'm talking specifically about his style and the way he fought, the way he'll give you some of his shoulder. I know a lot of people always compared him to Archie Moore. Pretty good comparison. The style and the way they fought, the way they would deliver their punches, the way they would fight inside. Like I said, give you the shoulder, give you the left shoulder, catch and roll with shots. Just beautiful fighting. James Toney had one damn good counter right hand where he'll give you the shoulder, he'll catch that and he'll come back with his counter right hand. Didn't have, huge punching power at heavyweight, but still enough to keep you honest. The way he was landing it on John Ruiz was just beautiful, man. And I know he got popped in that fight for the steroid use, but I'm talking about just the right hand, man. I'm talking about the way he was delivering it, the way he was catching and countering with that straight right hand. It was crazy that a guy that this small, you can tell, to me, he wasn't at his best physically at heavyweight. To me, I know his earlier fights, he would come in decent shape, you know what I mean? But he was fighting with a gut pretty much at heavyweight, man. Maybe you can say the Holyfield fight is when he looked at his best. I don't forget how much he weighed, like 215 maybe. That's when he was at his best at heavyweight as far as his best weight. But he was going in there against Hakeem Rockman, a guy that has very good punching power, a big right hand, Lennox Lewis. And he was handling his business, man. It's like this little 5'9" X, super middleweight. When he would go in there with some guys, I used to just think like, man, he's gonna get knocked out. And I knew he'd never been knocked out, but it was just like, okay, he's gonna get knocked out this time. Me and my uncle were huge James Toney fans, and we will always watch these fights together. I remember we watched the Holyfield Toney fight, or the Holyfield fight with Toney. We just couldn't believe the way he was putting the beats on him. Holyfield. You can say, oh, that was an old watch. Man, look, he was putting the beats on him. It was just the way he was doing it. It was the way he was doing it with just hand speed, walking him down, giving him those little feints and shoulder feints, and just keeping his chin down. It was just his whole cadence, his footwork. It was just, I was like, damn, he's whooping Evander's ass. And I even heard Evander say he was just moving all over the place and his hands was fast. Now, prime Evander Holyfield is a totally different fight. I know that. But even that version, I was just like, damn. Holyfield can't stop. All the punches is coming from different directions. He couldn't do anything. But the fight he went in there against Samuel Peter, I thought he was gonna get his head knocked off, man. Samuel Peter, I thought that power was real. He knocked Jeremy Williams out cold. You know what I mean? And I just thought that power was real, man. I was like, you know what? I know Samuel Peter's a little crude, but James Toney is just too small, man. He's just too small. I know he's a great fighter, the pedigree and championship medal. I understand that, but not this time. And I thought James Toney won that first fight. The second fight I gave to Peter. The first fight I thought James Toney edged it. You know, but I couldn't. It's just hard going back and just watching these fights. I watched the Peter fights a few nights ago, and I watched the Rockman fight. Just watching this little small pudgy dude at heavyweight, man, and just take care of his business, and that's what you call having great technique, great skill. He had one of the best up jabs where he'll have pretty much his gloves down, fighting with his hands down. Then he would always get the jab from his hip to the top of your head, like a little up jab. He kept doing it to Sam Peter. James Toney is one skillful dude, man. One of the best infighters I've seen of this generation. I know a lot of fans, they just think of him as this fat dude that should retire from boxing. But we don't even have to go back to the 90s for me, in my opinion. We can just go right back when he started really campaigning at heavyweight. You know, James Toney's a bad dude, man. YTBC, I'm out.